Design thinking. You would have come across this concept a lot during new product ideation, software development, or requirement gathering. So, what is design thinking? In simple terms, it's a mindset or a process to solve problems and design solutions. So, how is it different from any other problem solving solutions? It's unique because it's a very, very human centric approach to any problem solving. User is in the center of whatever is being proposed or designed. We feel the user, we imagine his problems, we observe him clearly, and then we share the solutions. More often than not, currently, the problem solving teams focus on what they think are the problems and their solutions. But in design thinking, the focus from the very beginning is on the user. It's an exploratory solution to solve complex problems for which there are not many established solutions yet. Also, very, very importantly, it provides toolkit and some flows to people who are not really into designing and yet they can build very creative solutions. So, what are the steps followed, or what is the approach for following design thinking? More or less, design thinking consists of empathizing with the client, with your user, defining his or her problem, ideating, prototyping, and then finally testing the solution until it is perfect. Like we said, empathy is the first step in design thinking. Literally, empathy means here to get into your user's heart and really understand what they need. The need is to observe every movement, carefully understand every explicit and implicit need, and map his behavior. Let's say you have to design a new paintbrush. How would you start? By using design thinking principles. The first and the foremost step would be to observe your users in action. Do they use a flash brush or round edges? Do they paint in oil or they use any other media? Do they generally stand and paint or would they like to sit? Is it a canvas that they use or is it a wall that they paint on? Is this for a painter with professional needs or just a painter who wants to paint the town red? Once we understand the behavior, we carefully define the need or the problem which we want to solve. This is done by finding patterns and making sense of the massive qualitative data that we've just gathered. Now that we have a clearly defined problem, the design thinking team sits together to brainstorm on the solutions. The focus here is on possibilities rather than on constraints. The key question is, if anything were possible, what would be built? Everyone comes up with solutions and have multiple solutions at this stage. The solution could be big flat brushes, or thin round flat brushes, or pointed brushes, or possibly a set of all three. Well, now that we have possible solutions, the team starts to build prototypes. It's a super critical step of design thinking as we are continuously iterating a work in progress product. Once the prototyping is built, we put it for testing. It might so happen that the brush blots, or is unable to provide the finesse, or the color richness is low. The team works on all these aspects and keeps on improving the product until we have a brush with perfect strokes, perfect pressure, and perfect dimensions. This was the way we used design thinking to build, in fact, a perfect brush. Thanks a lot for watching.